How you doing, guys? Big Mate Danskull here, back with another video for you. Today I'm going to be talking you through how I painted the Gorzag Gitstompa and his fateful ammo run Nikkit.
Hold on. Let me tell you the true story of Gorzag Nikkit. You can consider this video looted.
Do you mind, mate? I'm trying to record here. Anyway, as I was about to say, I'm just using my usual priming technique with Halford's red from below and then Halford's white from above.
Shut it, you puny little Yumi, before I lose my rack. You see, the first thing you gotta know about Gorzag is that he wasn't a goth, he was a death skull. Any orc worth his salt knows that, and believe me, I've seen him looting with the best of him on the battlefield.
Once the miniatures had dried, I got back inside and got to painting. I've got the Gamecraft Dragon on the screen in front of me. I watched him as well as plenty of Twitch. Switching to the desk down view, you will see that I've painted all the metallics on the miniatures already. I did that with lead belcher and then I moved on to contrast paints. The first colour I went in with is Basilicanum Grey, and I went all over the pants. I really like grey jeans myself, so I thought I'd give these two lads a set of grey jeans each.
Nikkit's not called Nikkit for nothing, you know. If he sees anything shining that's not nailed down, he'll nick it. A true death skull, and no doubt about it.
Bloody hell, mate, will you be quiet? I'm trying to record here. The next colour I go in with is a bit of Gorgrunter fur. I wanted a wooden colour for the box that Gorzag stood on, so I figured I'd go in with one of the lighter wooden colours. So it's not super light, but I needed a darker colour to do some wood grain effects later on. You'll be seeing them later in the video, so stick around.
Who cares about wood grain?
This guy, I tell you, is doing me flipping head in. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, the brown. Right, so after doing the box that he stood on, I move on to some of the finer areas, such as the strings and ropes holding the skull.
Call that a skull? Huh. The problem with Yumi skulls is the teeth ain't worth nothing.
As I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, it was a bit of a delicate operation near the skull, so I decided to switch my brushes at this stage.
Delicate? All Yumis are delicate, ain't they?
I'm not talking about Yumis. I'm talking about the fine detail on the miniature, you numpty.
What's a numpty?
I'll tell you after I finish recording this if you're lucky. The next colour I'm using is Flesh Tearer's Red, which I paint on the trees or tassets that hang down around the groinal area of Gorzag. After that, it's Snakebite Leather for, well, the leather of course.
Makes sense, I suppose.
Was it me, or did that feel like a bit of a compliment?
No, just an observation, that's all. Don't go getting excited.
I was also doing a bit of Twitch streaming myself as I was painting the miniature. You can see me here just showing off the latest Mega Knob that I painted. That's my first miniature of the year 2021. I'll pop a link in the description to my Twitch as well, so if you are on Twitch, you can give me a follow over there, and then you'll get a sneak peek of what I'm working on before it's actually uploaded in a video.
Hey, I thought this video was about Gorzag and Nikkit. Get back to it.
Alright, don't rush me. Okay, so we are using some Black Templar paint here to paint in the straps and various other areas such as the boots on the miniatures. The pot I've got open on the desk now is Magos Purple, and I'm just using that to dot in the tongue of Nikkit to try and get a bit more of a
Complementary tone to the green.
How did you know that?
What do you think I am? Just a pretty face? You cheeky git, I ought to crump you.
Now I know this is a tip you've all been waiting for. What blue do I use? Well, it's just Contrast Talosar Blue. Nice and simple. Slap it all over.
All over anything you want blue, that is.
Well, obviously, yeah. In this case, that's Gorzag's coat or shirt or whatever it is, and various bits of Nikkit just to tie him in to the same clan.
Is it me or is your desk getting progressively messier?
Well, yeah, it just tends to happen as I paint, doesn't it? What can I say? I guess I'm just not very organised.
Maybe she was born in a fungus patch. Seems there might be a little orc in you after all.
Oh, bugger, I forgot. I'm supposed to be talking about what I'm doing here. You're distracting me.
Oh, sorry.
As you can see on screen, I've turned my attention to the skin on the grot and orc now. The first thing I do is go in with Dark Oath Flesh in all of what I deem the hot areas. These are areas where you've got blood vessels close to the skin, such as the cheeks of your face and your ears, and also the joints. While that's still drying, I make sure I open the Plague Bearer flesh. Not Orc flesh as you might expect. The Plague Bearer flesh, I just prefer those yellowy tones, and it gives a chance for that Dark Oath flesh to show through.
It's nice to see that he's finally looking a little less peaky.
Time for a bit of a close-up, I'd say, to see where we're up to with them. They're looking good, I think, but we're going to have to wait for the paint to dry to truly know. Time to snazz up some of these metallics with a bit of Nazdrag yellow.
Nazdrag? A real baboon, that one. Too flashy for his own good, in my opinion.
Just running over any areas that I want to turn gold here, such as the hilt of Gorzag's knife. The metallic still shows through because of the translucency of the paint. The next job is to pick out all the teeth and tusks with a bit of skeleton horde, nice and simple. Then on to some apothecary white to add a bit of shadow to all those furry areas.
Fur? Who needs fur? Give me a nice bit of squid leather all day long.
It was round about now when I decided I needed to redo a few areas such as the blue on the miniatures, so I went in with a second coat of the Talisar blue. This makes it look just that little bit richer and gives you those extra lucky dice rolls. The next area I felt needed a bit of reinforcement was the flesh, so I went in with another coat of the Plague Bearer on both miniatures, paying particular attention to the shadows.
I suppose you've got to make sure your greenskins is actually green, right?
My thoughts exactly, mate. After that, I moved on to the grey metallics. I wanted to dull them down a bit because orc weapons tend to get dirty. You know, they're not known for looking after the war gear, I suppose. So I got the Basilicanum grey back out and went over those areas with a 50-50 mix of Basilicanum grey and water. At this point, I knocked Gorzag off his base.
You what?
I know, but don't worry. Give me a nice chance to apply some Astrogranite, followed by a wash of Agrax Earthshade once the Astrogranite had dried. Next, I decided I wanted to push myself a little bit. After my recent collaboration with Let's Make It Orchid on the Red Gobbo, I decided I wanted to try and paint some texture onto the miniature.
What do you mean you've just painted some texture onto the base?
Well, yeah, texture paint's all well and good, but what I mean is add some texture to the miniature that isn't already there. So I want to add some fine lines to things like the jeans using Administratum Grey, and then add some wood grain effects to the crate that Gorzag stood on.
What colour are you using now then?
Oh, sorry, yeah. It's just wildwood, this one, to create that dark wood grain effect. And here's a bit of a closer picture for you, so you can see the wood grain. Still needs a little work, I'd say. One thing I forgot to record is how I painted the holster for his shooter. And basically, I went over it at first with some Guilliman flesh, thinking that'd be a nice, interesting colour. But then I decided it was too red, too pinky, too flesh-like, if you like. So I decided in the end to go over it again with some skeleton horde.
One of the final things you want to do is sort that base out. Get out some Abaddon Black and give it a nice clean rip.
Oi, whose video is this?
Like I said, you can consider this video looted.
Give me that mic! Right, the final step is just to give a nice light dry brush of Celestial Grey.
To pick out all those nice raised areas on the bases.
I guess we don't make such a bad team after all, do we? Anyway, here's the spinny vid.
Who's that getting mega armor?
Oh, that's just the first miniature I painted this year. I've painted 3 so far and it's only the 3rd of January. I plan on painting 365 this year.
Don't make me laugh, my size is hurting.
I'll be able to do it if I can just stay on top of stuff.
Exactly, you never do.
You could be right, but I can try anyway, can't I?
Right, if you gits ain't already done so, make sure you crump that like button.
And don't forget to check out the links in the description below to my Twitch, Instagram, Facebook and Patreon if you want to help support the channel.
After all, more teeth means better quality videos, doesn't it?
Oh my gawk, did we just become best friends?
Friends? Well, I suppose you ain't so bad for a human git after all.
That just leaves one thing left for us to do. Do you want me to count us down?
Go on then.
Are you ready?
Hurry up.
3, 2, 1. See you on the battlefield.
See you on the battlefield.
Oi, you tried to steal the limelight.
I thought we was going on go.